Hey everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
And today, in honor of Epic Universe opening this weekend, we are doing our top 5 Universal Orlando Resort rides, Classic Edition.
Let's go!
So Epic Universe is opening this weekend, and we have not had the pleasure of going yet, but we wanted to take the opportunity to rank our top 5 rides at the 2 classic parks, Universal Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. We only have 2 rules for this list, and they are you must get in a ride vehicle, and there are no defunct attractions. So anything that's gone away cannot be ranked here.
So last time when we did Disney World, our lists were super close to each other. I was actually shocked because the first 3 were exactly the same. So that was really cool. And I think we might have a similar situation here only because Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure don't really have a lot of rides that we're super passionate about. So I could see our list being really similar, like at least at the beginning or maybe towards the end. Actually, I feel like we kind of know what our bangers and our favorites are. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And since I started last time, Rachel's going to go ahead and go first this time. And I'm excited to see what her number 5 is because I really don't know what her early list is going to look like. I have a really good feeling about number 1 just because I've seen her on all these rides before. So without further ado, do you want to introduce your number 5?
I do.
All right.
My number 5 is the Incredible Hulk Coaster.
Okay.
So actually, this probably wouldn't have made my list before our last trip to Orlando because I feel like it used to box my ears a lot and it was very rattly. But I don't know if it's my perception of it or if they actually did some work to it. The last time we rode it, it was actually pretty smooth and it was a really fun experience. Obviously, Islands of Adventure has some bangers. They have a lot of roller coasters, and this was kind of not one that I liked to ride before. But on our last trip, it's a lot of fun. You just go upside down a lot, you get launched out, and you hear the Hulk screaming, and it's just a fun little roller coaster. It's nothing like too crazy compared to other roller coasters you might ride at other parks, but I really enjoyed this ride and I think it deserves to be on my list.
Yeah, actually, I got a soft spot for this ride now a little bit, but like you said before, it wasn't really a ride we really liked to ride. I didn't like that you had to put your stuff in the lockers and that was its own process. And obviously at Universal parks, you put your stuff in the lockers, but this was kind of the first one we went on where we had to do that. And so I was kind of miffed about it. And it really did. It beat my head up bad the first couple times we tried this ride. But the last time we rode it, it was awesome. It was so smooth. I think the skyline for it is gorgeous too. I think at night it just lights up the whole area. I just think it's a really beautiful ride. I think this is a great pick. I think it's super fun. I love that it has the launch. I think that it's really cool that you can hear it from far away.
Yeah.
It's just a really good ride. Honestly, this is a great pick.
And it's green, and green is my favorite color. So
It's
that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's bright green too. It's a pretty ride, honestly, and I'm surprised at how old it is and how well it's holding up and how well they're taking care of it and stuff. It's awesome. Great pick.
Thank you.
All right, so Rachel's number 5 is down. She got the Hulk up there. That's a good choice. I'm gonna go with my number 5, Escape from Gringotts.
All right, all right.
So our lists are not lining up as well as our Disney World ones, so we have different number 5s, unfortunately. But Escape from Gringotts, for me, this is one I actually had a lot higher before our last trip, but then when we rode it this last time, I kind of felt underwhelmed a little bit. Not to take anything away from it. Obviously, it's a great ride. It still made my top 5, but just to kind of justify why it's not higher on my list, I don't know why. Just this last time we rode it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's kind of taking you from screen to screen, but I still think it's a legitimately great ride. I love the beginning of it. I think, well, let's start at the queue because the queue is incredible.
The queue is ridiculous. If you don't want to ride a roller coaster, but you want to see Harry Potter stuff, just walk into the beginnings of the queue of this ride and your mind will be blown.
It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And even the outside of it, I think is really cool. I love the askewed buildings. I love that obviously there's the sick dragon on top. Everything about this, aesthetically, is awesome. I think the story is actually pretty cool. I'm not a big Harry Potter person, as you know, and maybe some of you know, but I do think it does a really good job of telling a story and executing the thrill portions of it. I just think it does a really good job, and I love it. I think it's a great ride. I think it's worthy of being top 5. It's just really, really good. And I really do think that they do a really good job of building up the suspense at the start of the ride. I think the elevator portion of it's really, really cool. And if you really don't know what you're in for, it can be pretty scary, honestly.
Yeah.
So the first couple times you ride this, if you don't know what you're really in for, or you're not really a big thrill ride person, this one can really edge your nerves a little bit. And when they tilt you straight down at the start of it, man, my adrenaline gets going. And
Yeah.
I love that. So I think it's really cool. So I had to have it on my list, and I will always ride it when we go. It's one of my favorite things about Diagon Alley as a whole. I just think they do a really good job with it. So,
Well, if you want to go ahead and reveal my number 4, I
oh,
can
it made
keep
your
talking
four?
about it. Yeah. This is actually my number 4.
Boom, escape from
So
jails.
our lists are not the same, but they're very similar. I actually probably would have ranked this a little higher before this last trip, and I
Yeah,
agree with you. For some reason, it kind of depreciated in my
yeah,
mind over the last couple of times we've gone. I agree. It's a really fun ride, and the queue is amazing, and the theming is amazing. I really don't like the 3D glasses. I think that's maybe
oh,
the part that got me and made it, go a little bit lower on my list because we are glasses wearers. If we have to put 3D glasses on, it does kind of detract from the experience a little bit, especially on a ride that shakes you around as much as this one
yeah.
does, because they do tend to move around even if you have them on over your glasses.
Especially on this one too, I noticed, and we wear bigger frames because we're dorks, but it doesn't sit quite right. And I know people at home are gonna be like, "What, this wear contacts or whatever." When we rode this last time, it was towards the end of the day, and anyone that wears contacts for extended periods of time, especially like a full park day, or maybe you're doing after hours like Orlando Informer, your eyes are exhausted. So sometimes you do end up switching to your glasses anyway. And yeah, it takes away a little bit from it. And something this ride vehicle does that I think is actually pretty cool is when you get into scenes, it kind of bounces you slightly just back and forth a little bit. And with those glasses and you're trying to track what's happening, it's just a little disorienting. And I think that took away a little bit for me too. So
Yeah, but by and large, this is a really good
it's
ride.
awesome.
It's really fun, and especially if you like Harry Potter at all, it's a really fun ride to ride. It doesn't go upside down or anything, so even if you don't really like the bigger thrill rides, this one, you should just try it if you like Harry Potter. I would highly suggest just trying it. And I honestly prefer this to the other big Harry Potter ride in the
Amen.
parks.
Yeah.
That one can get people a little motion sick. This one I've never gotten motion sick on,
Just
and I
to
don't.
clarify, we're talking about the castle.
The Forbidden Journey.
Forbidden Journey.
But this is, in my opinion, the much better ride
I
and what it should have been all along. But the queue is amazing, and yeah, I would just highly suggest going on it. And you do have to put your stuff in the locker for this one as well,
yeah.
just like with pretty much every Orlando
Pretty
ride, unless you have a fanny pack, which is my pro tip. Always wear a fanny pack, and then you don't have to put your stuff in the locker for the majority of the not huge thrill rides.
Yeah. To give a little bit of credit to Forbidden Journey, I think that queue being so incredible did lead to these theme park designers really putting more thought into their queues. And so if we didn't have Forbidden Journey, the queue for this probably wouldn't be nearly as
Yeah.
spectacular. But it is so gorgeous. It feels like you're in the universe. They killed it. So Universal Chef's Kiss for both of these areas of these parks is just so beautiful, and major props to them. Honestly, it's just so gorgeous. All right, and since I unlocked Rachel's number 4, I'll have to go back to back here and unlock my number 4, which is the Incredible Hulk Coaster.
So we flipped them.
I was worried about that. So I did go back and forth. Honestly, I went back and forth on these two over and over again on how I was going to rank them. I just think they're both super important to what they do for the parks and where they're at in the parks. The Incredible Hulk Coaster in particular is super important because for me, if it wasn't for that, you really kind of only have the Spider-Man ride over in that area,
Yeah.
which is it's actually a pretty cool ride, but it's not we're coaster heads at the end of the day. So I have to give this ride major props. I think the refurbishments that they've done and the upkeep they've done for it, I don't want to reiterate a ton of points, but I think it's worth mentioning that the amount of love I think the Universal people really show in this ride actually really does come to light as you're on it and you're experiencing it and being able to hear it from far away. And if you're coming from, the front entrance, it's like the first thing you kind of see as you turn the corner. I just think it's super important, and I really do love this ride now. And I had like a kind of a passionate hate for it for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we did not enjoy our first experience with this ride, so we both turned a hard corner on that.
we did. And if we were doing some armchair engineering on this one, I think like if we could have clamshells on it or something
Yeah,
like
if
that.
they could change the restraints, then this could maybe even go up higher.
Honestly, yeah, it's super close to just being like a ridiculously good ride. I think the number of launches is really good in it. I think the inversions, it used to hold the record for most inversions, I think, at one point. Just such a good ride, really well thought out. It doesn't take up too much space, if you compare it to like Rip Ride Rocket.
It really curls in on itself, so it
Yeah.
isn't a huge footprint. Yeah.
I think that's great when you can fit these banger rides in such a small footprint. There's so much value in that. So I just wanted to mention that. I think it's totally worth mentioning on this list. I just think it's such a great ride. So.
Well, obviously, I agree.
All right, Rachel, you want to show us your number 3?
Yes, I would love to, and I honestly think ours might be the same. I'll maybe we'll be surprised. My number 3 is the Revenge of the Mummy.
Oh,
So
it's Revenge of the
yeah.
Mummy. Good job.
I thought that might be the case because I think I know what our numbers 1 and 2 are, but they may not be in the same
I
order.
was worried about that too.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to number 3, Revenge of the Mummy. This ride, it exists in both Orlando and Hollywood if you've been to either or both of those parks, except this is the much superior version.
Yeah, I
This
agree.
version, it's longer for one, but it actually takes you behind the scenes of a movie that's being made about the mummy. So they have things in the queue about Brendan Fraser and the directors and everything.
Academy Award winning Brendan Fraser.
This is, yes, that is true.
Congratulations to him.
Oh, but they're making the movie, The Mummy, and you're going through this, temple that they just found, and they're filming this movie in this real forbidden temple. And it has props and it has like director's chairs and things in the queue. And then you get on the ride and you're going through and you start to see callbacks to some things in the queue, some characters you met along the way in the queue. And it's just really fun the way they did it. It's a thrill ride. You go backwards, you go forwards. And that has one of my favorite like stop scenes of any roller coaster in the world.
Amen.
When you stop and you see it's a fake out. They are faking you out that you're supposed to get off the ride and it's the end of the ride. You actually see a ride operator up in a window.
Who gets messed up.
They get messed up and then there's fire that comes from the ceiling and then they take you back off again. It's like one of the funniest experiences when we first rode it because we've ridden the version in Hollywood first.
Yeah.
And then we went and rode this and I was like, oh, is the ride over already? But then I was kind of like, well, the one in Hollywood probably ended way before now.
Yeah.
But then the ride kept going. And so it was just a fun experience. So this ride is really fun. It's a really good time. It can get me a little bit nauseous. Like if I ride it back to back, I'm going to probably need to take a break. But just once or twice, it's always good. And it's just fun and fast.
I just think it's so fun and it's so campy too.
Oh yeah.
It has like a cult following in a weird way, but it is like still like at its core is a great ride. It is such a cool indoor coaster. It's got so much going on. There's so many different elements. And like Rachel mentioned it, I honestly believe it's better than the Hollywood counterpart just because it's a little bit longer and there's more elements going on to it. And I actually think this one's in a way better spot in the park.
Yeah.
I think where it's at is super useful because you're not just walking through atmosphere at this point when you reach the spot. Mm-hmm. You're actually getting to like a really cool ride and it's a banger ride. It's a neat ticket attraction to me. I just think the speeds are so good. I think it's just timed really well. Everything that's happening is so interesting and visually exciting. I think it's super funny. Like I really, really love that in the queue, he's talking about wanting his coffee and then you get onto the ride.
You meet an intern who's supposed to be getting him his coffee and then
he's the one that gets taken by the mummy or whatever. So, and you see that happen on the ride. And I just think it's so cool. And you have actually relatively complex, in my opinion, animatronics on this ride.
Yeah.
Like the ones that shoot up or whatever as you're at the beginning of the ride before your first launch, which again, I actually really like the launches on this ride. I just think they actually, maybe they're not the most advanced, but I think they're actually really cool. And like they did like a really good job and like their motions really fluid and done really well. I don't know. I just think the whole ride as a whole experience, it's just so good. And when I get off of it, every time I get off of it, I'm reminded that it's just such a good ride and it's so important to this particular park because they just don't have enough oomph in their rides outside of maybe Rip Ride Rocket and Green Gots, which we already talked about.
Well, and Rip Ride Rocket's going away.
And it's going away. So I just can't emphasize enough just like how important this ride probably is for that park. And it's just a really good property. I think intellectually it's like a really fun property that a lot of people really actually enjoy. And I don't know, just give it a try. It can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
Especially leading up to it because there's a lot of dark pieces just in the queue by itself. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's just so fun. Awesome, awesome time. I love this ride.
Well, obviously we both appreciate this ride and I think it deserves its place at number 3 on both of our lists.
Yeah. All right. And since we revealed Rachel got my number 3, so I don't have to pop my next one off. It's up to Rachel. You ready for your number 2?
All right. I think these are going to be hotly debated between us.
Oh no.
Or I think we both have love for both of them. So I'm curious to see if you ranked your number 2 the same as I ranked mine. But yes, let's go to my number 2.
All right, Rachel's number 2.
It is Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster.
So this ride, it really, honestly, this is my number 1. It depends on the day for me.
Really?
But This is my number 2 because it is a huge thrill ride. It is an amazing roller coaster. It is one of the best roller coasters in the world. We love this ride. I ride it every time I go. It never has that long of a wait. Usually the wait's like 30-ish
That's like
minutes.
the most shocking thing in the world to me
Yeah,
is
because
how
it's one of
long
the
this is.
newest rides. Like it's one of the newest rides in all of Orlando almost, and it's a great ride. It is very intimidating. It has a great like sight line. When you walk past the Jurassic Park sign, you start to see this track unfold, and you start to see it people going upside down over the water. You start to see a huge net over the walkway so that if people drop things, they won't fall on you, and you see the building that you're going into. It's it's just so intimidating to begin with up front. And then you get into the queue and there's raptors statues everywhere, but then they have animatronic raptors that
It's
actually blink
gorgeous.
and make noise and shake their heads. And like that was so I didn't know anything about this ride when we first rode it, other than what you can kind of see from behind, you know, just the facade. And when we got into that queue, I was like, oh my gosh, this ride is going to be crazy. And then it is so fast. It is so, so, so fast. And if you can do it at night, please do. It's so good at night. The lighting on the carriages and just how fast it goes at night, because as things get loosened up during the day, they tend to go a little bit faster, is just so amazing. And if you love airtime, which that if you watched our videos, you know that that's like my favorite thing. This is the ride for you. Like you are going to get all the airtime you could possibly want. They're going to throw you up out of your seat so many times that you will lose count. And it is just such a fun ride.
Okay. Wow. It's number 2. She
Yeah.
talks like it's her number 1.
Well, like I said, it depends on the day for me. And when I reveal my number 1, I might give you some more insight into why I ranked it as number 2. So,
Okay. Well, I think that all your points are fair and valid. It is so close. Just so you guys know at home, number 1 and number 2. I'm sure Rachel struggled with this as
I
much as I
did.
did.
I did.
It's ridiculously difficult to do these lists, and because we really do care. And Velocicoaster is so special. It is like no other. We obviously haven't been to Epic Universe, but I'd be hard pressed to say that maybe one of the newer coasters lives up to what this one does. I think this ride might have the record for sustained airtime on a roller coaster. If not, it's super close because you are barely in your seat for this ride, man. You are going all over the place. And like Rachel mentioned, it's 2 totally different rides from the daytime to the nighttime. It is a gorgeous night ride. And also, I mentioned it with the Hulk coaster. This one does amazing things for the night skyline of Islands of Adventure too. I think it's a beautiful track layout. I just think it's gorgeous. And that's why it's my number 2.
Oh, I am shocked to hear this. I thought he was for sure going to have it as his number 1. But that's really funny. Okay.
I spent several hours going back and maybe not hours, but I spent a lot of time thinking about my number 1 and number 2 and my number 4 and number 5, but that's irrelevant right now. But Velocicoaster is, it holds a special place in my heart. I would argue that I have more memorable moments on Velocicoaster than I do my number 1. But I think number 1 is going to be a slightly better ride for reasons we'll get into. But Velocicoaster is so, so fun. It is what coaster heads want. It does so many things right. It was it was built at like the perfect time too. Like we needed something like this.
Yes.
And to me it saves this park because it's just so good. It's meters away from another banger ride. It's meters away in a different direction for another banger ride in the Hulk coaster. It's so good. I can't say enough nice things about it. I love that the track's black and it's like so intimidating. Like if I saw this as a kid, I'd be like shaking just looking at it if I thought of going on it.
And that's one of the key reasons for me that it's not number 1 is this ride is super intimidating for a lot of people. If you do not love roller coasters and you do not love getting thrown around and going upside down, this is probably not the ride for you, but it is an amazing ride. Obviously, it should not probably be your first roller coaster you try.
No, please don't.
But if you are, you've ridden some that go upside down and you're just really curious, it is so good. This ride is so smooth.
It is.
It's just an amazing ride if you love roller coasters.
It's so silky smooth, and that's one of the big points I wanted to make about it is I think it's going to hold up too. Like I've been on this so many times now that I feel like this ride is sustainable.
Yeah.
And I think part of the wait time goes into how good Universal handles the operations on this ride. Because the capacity for this ride is awesome. Like it feels like they're just kicking people out so fast that I don't feel bad waiting the extra few minutes for the front or the back row
Yeah.
on this. It's so good.
Well, and I was gonna say that a lot of times on Universal rides in particular, they'll like the staff will clap as you come back into the station, and it's kind of like they're trying to force you to clap, and it's a very like, oh.
Even on the Mummy, it's kind of like that.
But on this ride, the passengers
Are the ones
clapping
clap.
and yelling without having to be prompted at all. It's like it gets your adrenaline pumping. It's just like a thrill ride like no other that we've experienced. And everybody that rides this, you're either terrified
Yeah.
or you're having the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you see it on people's faces too.
Yeah.
Like there's a really funny video of Paula Abdul riding this ride and getting off of it. She's like, I hated that. She looks so done with it. But it's intense. Like it's a different level. It's not and it's a different level not just because of the intensity level, but because of what's happening on it. There's so many different twists and turns and everything being so smooth and like six
Yeah.
different launches and I don't know, just the thought processes they put into designing this ride it's just it's chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I would want 100 coasters in the world exactly like this, and I'd be stoked.
Yeah, at one point you think you're gonna go like anytime you think you're gonna go a certain way with the track, they whip you around and go a different way, but it's not like jerking you, like you're not gonna get hurt. It's just the track is so smooth that it whips you around the other way. It's really like you are being chased by raptors and you're trying to, get away from them. I think another reason it might be my number two is that the theming in the queue is so great. We obviously know it's, you're going with these raptors and you're trying to get away from them or keep away from them. They don't really have anything telling you that on the ride except for a couple of statues of raptors. If they had some sort of movement to the statues, granted you are going so fast, it might be really hard to see.
Yeah, I think that's why they did that, yeah.
But they need more, as well as the theming in this ride, I think, for it to truly take over number one for me.
Yeah, they're doing like audio cues and stuff because the audio is built into
the audio is great.
It's built into the seating system, and it's just I don't know, man. It's so different. It's so special. And I will always ride this. I think it's just phenomenal. I think the design twists and turns and whips and stuff makes it such a smooth experience that you really don't have to be scared of that. I've never been sick on this ride, but I could see how someone could be maybe. But, the barrel roll over the water, like anyone that's acting tough gets like put in their place right there then and there when that motion happens. It's so good. And just to reiterate one final point is I do think the animatronics in the queue are awesome.
Yes.
Like they look so good. I don't know how they did it. Like I've stood there and looked at them and they look so realistic and beautiful and oh sorry, one more final point actually. One more final point I want to make about this ride is I think the locker system.
I was just gonna say that I wanted to bring up the locker
Oh, sorry. I think it's revolutionary. Like I think that should be like the future of how you handle locker situations for roller coasters.
So if anybody doesn't know, on the majority of the rides, especially the older ones, you have to go to a locker outside of the ride queue to put your stuff in the locker and then start through the ride queue. Especially on like Hulk, they actually put you through a metal detector, so you have to put everything in there. Whereas for this ride, you actually go into the queue like normal, and then right before you're about to get to the loading zone is when they have lockers inside of the station for you. So that way you just scan your park ticket, put your stuff in, you'd still go through a metal detector, but then when you are on your way out of the ride, you just get your lockers from the other side.
Yeah, the back end.
Tron has a similar system as well. But I just love that because your stuff is contained within like the same building as you are. You don't have to fight for people that are not really even getting on that ride. Maybe they just want to just put their stuff in the locker for 20 minutes for no reason. And it also just makes it so you can keep your phone if the wait is long.
Yeah.
You can keep your phone for longer. You can take pictures of the things in the queue that are really cool, or just like play games on your phone while you're waiting in the line.
I do love that, and I think it's really cool that you could leave your stuff in there and just ride it again if you want.
Oh, we've done that.
We do it, yeah. So especially at after hours events, you can go and ride it 3 or 4 times. Just leave your stuff in the locker. And I think the way that it's designed is really smart too, because as people are getting off of the ride vehicle, only X number of people are going to be in the locker area, so you're not bumping into each other. And it's awesome. I love this ride. It's so good. It's literally a 10 out of 10 ride. It is so unfortunate. If it was in any other park, it'd probably be my number one. On any given day, it could be my number one. It might be my number one right now as I'm talking about it. It's that good. Honestly, it's that good. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece ride. Seriously.
Agree.
All right, Rachel, you got my number 2.
I'm pretty sure we have the same number one, David. Let's not be coy about this.
You don't want me to play with the people at home?
No.
All right.
I mean, if you have been to Universal Orlando in the last 5 years or so, and this is not in your top 5, and it is not in your top 2, I'll be disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Hagrid's is one of the best rides in the whole world.
It might be the best.
It might be the best ride in the whole world. We don't know. We haven't been to Epic Universe
We
yet.
haven't been to every ride in the whole world, unfortunately.
But it is a masterpiece. This ride is a family coaster, or it's classified as a family coaster, but it has the thrills. It's like a family coaster on steroids, in my opinion. The reason I have this as my number one as opposed to Velocicoaster when you heard how much we love that ride is because it is more accessible to a lot of people and the theming is ridiculous. So this ride, you go so fast, you have so many launches, you get dropped, you go backwards, you don't go upside down. So
that's a plus for a lot of
people. That is a plus for a lot of people, and that's one reason, like, it's more accessible to a lot of people. But this ride is so good. You're going with Hagrid. You see a huge animatronic of Hagrid, and you get to, take a class with him and be on his motorbike and see all of the things that you would want to see in the Harry Potter universe in the Forbidden Forest. They have other animatronics in this ride. They have, just so many different things that are very Harry Potter specific and centric. And any Harry Potter fan should ride this ride, even if you don't really like roller coasters, because again, you're not going to go upside down. You are going to go fast, but you're not going to go upside down. And there is a little bit of a tamer option for you. If you don't like roller coasters, there's 2 kinds of seats on this ride. There is a motorbike, which is objectively more fun.
It's way more fun.
But it's a lot more open as well. And then there's the sidecar, which is a little bit more contained and you'll feel a lot more strapped in. So if you are scared of roller coasters, but you like Harry Potter, just please try this ride and just sit in the sidecar because it is so worth your time.
It's like nothing else, honestly. It's a ridiculously beautiful ride. Yeah. I'll start with the queue. I think the queue is absolutely stunning. We've been to castles in real life all over the world, and this castle looks awesome. So
it does, yeah.
It really holds its own. I think it's super interesting the way they tell the story throughout the queue. I love that there's eggs that have kind of hatched, and you're kind of left wondering what is that? What could that be? There's books on the desk that kind of explain some of the animals you're going to see and some of the questionable literature that Hagrid's kind of reading up on. There's a whole little story about how you're not supposed to be there. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. It's stunning. I think it's really cool that like the windows always look like it's daytime in the one hallway. And there's one ride on Earth I'll wait over an hour for, and it's this one.
And you have to. I think that's
you have to.
The one ding I would give to this ride is that there is no express pass. There is no way to bypass that line. And even if you have early entry, we've seen early entry lines with like for hotel guests start at over an hour.
Well, I have one more negative I'm going to give it. But overall, I can't knock this ride because at its core, this ride is insane. Like what they did, the amount of money they spent on this ride is crazy. I think it's over $600 million on this one ride, and it was the record holder for a while. And it shows. Like to me, yes. I think the pieces are so quality and well done, and really adds so much to the story. And that's crazy that a roller coaster has such a fluent story that like you're able to follow, and like the scenes are so easy to see.
And it's not just a roller coaster that's maybe going 20 or 30 miles an hour.
No.
Like it goes fast and you have multiple launches and you go backwards and you drop. So like to say that a roller coaster has a story, yeah, kiddie coasters could maybe have a story because they're not passing things that fast, but this is truly
the
going
Scooby
fast.
Zoom.
Well, yes, the Scooby Zoom. I've loved it, Scooby.
But honestly, being able to relay a story on the coaster sounds impossible to me.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to kind of like sit down and bring their best minds together and figure out where this was going to go, and unfortunately we lost Dueling Dragons for it, but that Harry Potter world is crazy well done. Like losing something, but getting something that's better, or at least you could tell they put heart into it. Yeah. It's a little bit different than just losing something for like the Frozen ride or whatever. But
yeah, they definitely did their due diligence. And I think most people would agree that this is better than what was there before.
Yeah. I just think it's beautiful. I think once those trees finally grow in too, it's just going to get more and more pretty as time goes on.
And this is another one that has a completely different experience if you ride it in the daytime or the nighttime. Yeah. It gets really cold at night. You can also see a lot of the lighting package on the vehicle itself light up a lot better at night, and so it's a really cool experience to ride it at night.
And not just that, at night you start to see the fog roll in,
Yeah.
and you don't really get that during the day. And I just think that's so cool. It adds an ambiance to an already really gorgeous ride. I can't say enough nice things about it. So the one little knock I wanted to give it was if you're a little bit larger, like I am, they won't let you sit in the sidecar. You have to take the motorbike, which honestly,
Is the better ride vehicle.
and I'm just nitpicking at this point. It's just one of those things that you might want to consider while you're going into it. But the motorbike is more fun. You get to push the button when it's time for the dragon's breath and all that stuff. So there's and that's another thing too. There's some interactive elements to this, and even though some of the animatronics aren't the best, you can start to see where they started to run out of money or whatever working on this ride. I still love seeing them. I think that I don't want to spoil too much, but there's an animatronic at the end. It's not the best quality, but I always have fun seeing it. I think it's really, really cute. And a lot of it's hidden from the queue and a lot of it's hidden from the park as a whole.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting yourself into until you walk through the queue, or even probably get, halfway through the outdoor queue, because there's an outdoor queue and an indoor queue. So you really have no idea what you're in for.
And I just think that's really cool. Like I brag about it with the Velocicoaster and the Hulk being able to see it from a sightline perspective. But this is cool because you're going into the Forbidden Forest.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to really kind of know what's there. It's supposed to have this mystique about it. And I just love it. I love this ride. I went back and forth over and over again, but at its core, I think Hagrid's is a better ride. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I could see children of all ages loving this ride, especially the ones that are really, there are kids that love coasters.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And
And as far as theming just in general, like Velocicoaster, yes, does fit in the world that it lives in. But Hagrid's, I mean, when you enter the queue, you can actually see the castle, the Hogwarts castle, from parts of the queue. So they're just immersing you like you are in the land of Harry Potter, and it's like you were with them when they were going from the castle for classes down to Hagrid's hut, and it's just so well thought out and well done that I had to rank it number one.
I can't knock it, obviously. I just want to take a second to emphasize how insane it is that these two rides are in the same park.
They're like
to each other.
Yeah, they're like right next to each other. Like you literally can go ride one and then go probably a 3-minute walk and go ride the other. It's insane.
Yeah, that is so awesome for the fans out there, and like just huge props to Universal. And obviously with Epic Universe coming out, we can't emphasize enough how excited we are for that. I just know that they put so much love and thought into the things that they're doing, and I think they genuinely care about the fans, and they're doing a lot of fanfare along the way. So I'm just so excited.
So what do you think? Have you been to Universal Orlando, and do you have a top 5 list you want to share with us? Or do you think we messed up on our top 5 list? Let us know in the comments. And also, have you been to Epic Universe? And do you want to share some of your thoughts about those rides with us for when we go? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more travel content from us, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. But for now, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
And we hope this video helped you find the right direction for your next adventure.
Bye.
Bye.